And now a story. The Secret 7.5 in the Mystery of Uncle Quentin's Laboratory. Chapter 1.
Janet was feeling very cross. Her older brother, Peter, had been particularly annoying that morning. She knew it was he who had stolen her toasted crumpet at breakfast. He claimed that Scamper had wolfed it down when she was engrossed in her observer's book of military vehicles.
Now, Scamper was notoriously greedy. He would eat or drink almost anything, dead, alive, however nasty. But in this case, Janet was certain of Scamper's innocence.
She could see the telltale crumbs all over Peter's face, and the lovely wet cardigan that Grandma had knitted him.
Then, to make matters worse, there'd been a rather horrid noise coming from Daddy's study. She knew it was very naughty, but she just couldn't help it. She tiptoed to the study door, and pressing her ear close, she could hear Daddy saying, very loudly, to Mummy,
"Look here, Cressida, I've had enough of your brother and his silly nonsense. The press are all over him. They're bloodhounds. Ugh. They're out over at the lab right now. It's high time we cut off from him."
"But Clarence," Mummy quavered, "Quentin is my very own brother, and the children must see their cousins."
"Must they indeed?" Daddy thundered. "Look at what's happened to our own little sweet Janet. 2 weeks at Easter with Quentin's crew, and she came back with all sorts of nonsense in her silly little head. Ugh, she picked it up from that dreadful cousin of hers, Georgina."
"Darling, I do think you're being a bit hard on poor Georgie. You don't realise just how hard it is for her to have an awful brother like that Julian."
"That's quite enough, Cressida." Daddy slammed his fist down hard on the desk with a loud bang.
All fell silent in the study. Janet fled back to the kitchen. She told Peter everything.
"Well,"
retorted Peter,
"I told you so, didn't I? I don't know why you ever liked that Uncle Quentin. Daddy says he's a rotter. The way he laughs every time Timmy bites Scamper's ear. And he always disappears off at Mummy and Daddy's drinks parties with that dark-haired boy, Toby. He knows Aunt Fanny gets upset by it. And he eats most of the jam tarts at supper."
Now Janet knew that last accusation wasn't quite the case.
It was Peter who gobbled up the jam tarts when he thought nobody was looking.
But Janet wasn't listening to Peter anymore. She'd put on her thinking cap.
It had been such a long time since the SS has had an adventure.
And from what she'd just overheard in the study, she sensed that there might be an adventure in the offing down at Uncle Quentin's place. She jumped up from her chair.
"Come on, Peter! Let's bike over and see what's going on at Uncle Quentin's laboratory," she said. "Yes,"
said Peter.
"that's just what I was going to say, Janet."
The children decided not to tell Mummy what their plans were for the day. They said they just wanted to go for a long bike ride, and could Mummy get Cook to prepare one of her bumper picnics for them?
"Tell her to put in a bottle of lemonade, a slice of ginger cake for Scamper, and 10 chocolate biscuits. 2 for Janet, 5 for me, and 2 for Scamper,"
commanded Peter. "Please, Peter, you know I detest bad manners."
"Oh, very well, Mummy. Please,"
said Peter ungraciously. He did notice that Mummy looked quite pale. Her hands were shaking, and she smelt of gin and cigarette ash and fishermen's friends.
She was quite obviously in one of her rotten moods. But never mind her. They were on an adventure now.
Mummy turned her attention on Janet.
Janet!
She said sharply, peering at her daughter's outfit with evident distaste.
You simply cannot go out in that dreadful combat jacket and army jeans. Change at once. Molly has freshly ironed your gingham skirt and pink blouse. Janet scowled at Mummy. But Mummy, you know you treat me by my chosen gender. I am a boy, and to make me wear those awful girly clothes is just not cricket. In fact, it's a hate crime.
Mummy looked daggers at Janet. But Janet stuck to her guns in spite of Mummy's set lips. She continued.
At school, Miss Armstrong lets all the children call me John, just like I want them to.
Don't be ridiculous, said Mummy sharply. Now jolly well do as I say. You will get changed or you're not going outside. Janet went very red, but she flounced upstairs and donned the dreaded attire. But then she gave a secret smile. Into her knapsack she stuffed her combat clothes. After they'd gone a safe distance from Clover Meadows, she stopped.
Don't look, Peter,
she warned. She quickly changed back into her army clothes. She stuffed the hated gingham skirt and pink blouse behind a convenient elderflower bush. But when she turned back to her bike,
she saw that her dreadful brother had been watching her the whole time. Oh, you horrid little boy! I'm telling Mummy on you! Oh, no, you won't,
retorted Peter.
Because I will tell Mummy on you. I'll say you'll be wearing your army clothes in public. And then you'll be doing French homework for the rest of the holidays. So there, Janet. And by the way,
He added,
everyone can tell that is not a real Victoria Cross on your jacket. It's just a piece of tack you got off the internet for $2.99.
How difficult it had been for Janet to bite back her rage. But she had. But now Peter was being a perfect beast again. She tried to put it out of her mind. After all, they were on an SS mission. Oh. They made their way up Firs Hill. Peter was setting up a gruelling pace. Again, she began to feel hot and bothered. Pedal as fast as she could. She just couldn't keep up with her brother as he steamed up Firs Hill, the lane that led from their lovely farm, Clover Meadows, across the summery fields towards the sleepy hamlet of Lower Chittleham.
It was just not fair. Her little girl's wacky bike with no gears was no match for Peter's shiny brand new Coventry Eagle. That had 3 gears, and it was a lovely racing green. Oh, a boyish colour, just like she wanted. And what did she get for her birthday? A mere hand-me-down from Cousin Anne. It was a frightful thing, all pink and purple, with flowers pointed all over it, and worst of all, it had a fairy doll. Ugh! Mounted on the handlebars. Ugh! Horrid!
Peter, on the other hand, had a Union Jack on his handlebar, and it fluttered importantly as he sped along. He was whistling the Dam Busters theme, way too cheerily for Janet's liking.
She wished she had a blunderbuss on her handlebar. Then she would pepper Peter's fast disappearing bottom with a deadly random grape shot. That would teach the bossy boots a lesson in white. And poor Scamper, his little legs were going like pistons, but he couldn't keep up with the triumphant figure ahead. "Hey!"
called the self-appointed expedition leader.
"I'm only in first gear. Look, Janet. Just you watch what I can do in seconds,"
he crowed.
"I'm changing gears now."
Janet could bear it no longer.
"Stop showing off, Peter. You're only faster than me because you're 2 years older. And you have a better bike." "Tosh."
Peter tossed off airily over his shoulder.
"We all know boys are way stronger than girls are." "Shut up, Peter. I'm a boy, 'cause I say I am."
Peter stopped his bike in his tracks. He turned to face Janet. He put on a superior smirk.
"Now look here, Janet.
He jeered.
You just don't have what it takes to be a boy."
He looked meaningfully down at his shorts. Janet could help it no longer. She let him have it with both barrels.
"Well, Peter, I certainly won't have a micro penis like yours. My thing, after the op, is going to be..."
But at that very moment, her thoughts and words were drowned out by the roar of several vehicles whooshing by at top speed. 2 of them had sirens blaring.
"Golly, they were police cars."
And then followed a procession of 3 black vans. They came by so close to the children, they almost knocked them off their bikes.
"What are those big black vans?"
Asked Janet, staring at the rapidly swirling trail of dust.
"Don't you know?"
Scoffed Peter.
"Everyone knows what they are. They're Black Mariahs. They take bad people away to prison. Looks like they're heading straight for Uncle Quentin's lab. Oh, it's an adventure. Come on, Janet. We've got to follow them."
Indeed, after 3 weeks of oh so boring summer holidays, the SS needed a bit of adventure. And here was one. It had landed right in her laps. How envious the other members of the Secret Seven would be to know what they had stumbled across. But Janet was looking rather worried.
"Peter,
She faltered.
I'm not sure that we should go to Uncle Quentin's lab because Daddy said we shouldn't."
Peter fixed her with a withering look.
"If you're a boy, as you say you are, show it now. It needs balls for this. Are you Janet or are you John?"
"John," growled Janet, mounting her pink bike with a determined set of the jaw.
"And we'd better get a move on,"
Said Peter, glancing at his new wristwatch. It had a luminous dial, and he wore it proudly on his wrist at all times, except in the bath, of course.
"It's 10 o'clock already."
And that's all for now. To find out what happens next, tune in to Chapter 2, The Secret 7 1/2, and Uncle Quentin's Mysterious Laboratory.